I'm making an angel food cake from scratch. Have you done it before? It's not very hard, so let's do it together. I've got first the 12 egg whites. You're gonna put it into a stand mixer. This is really tough to do by hand, so a stand mixer is gonna work best for you with the whip attachment. And then we need a half a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of cream and tartar. So cream of tartar is not something I use very often, so take my advice and look at the bottom of your container and make sure it hasn't expired. If it's expired, it's not going to give you what you need for this recipe. So I'm going to turn the dial to the whip setting, and I'm going to press it in, reduce the time by to 3 minutes, and then press start. This is going to make those egg whites nice and frothy. I'll show you when it's done. For the next step, we'll add a teaspoon of almond extract and then half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Release. And here's where you're going to attach your shield to make the next step easier. We go back on whip for 3.5 minutes. I've got a 1.5 cups of sugar here. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the mix. And we'll just let it whip. Let's take a look. Pull off your shield. This is so fluffy. Look at this, okay? So now we're gonna add the flour. I've got 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour and a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And we're simply going to turn the dial and put it on mix for just 1.5 minutes. I'm gonna bake the angel food cake in this tube pan. The interior comes out, and so it makes it easier for removal of the cake when you're finished. You do not want to grease this. It needs to have something to grab onto. So I'm just gonna pull this off. I can't wait to taste this cake. I love angel food cake. It was always one of my favorites as a kid, and I'm excited to be able to make it myself. Look at this. So you certainly can make this out of a box if you prefer, but there's nothing like homemade, right? Let's go ahead and just add it all in here. It's such a light and airy cake. It's great any time of year. The stand mixer makes it so easy, and lots of my hosts will choose their stand mixer for half price or an even better deal depending on the special of the month. Just like that. Okay, so you just want to spread it around, and then there's a lot of air bubbles in here, so we're going to want to make sure we remove as much of that as we can. This little releasing tool comes with your tube pan. And we're going to use this to run around the edges just to make sure that we don't have any air pockets along the edges. So just go ahead and take it. You never want to use metal in your tube pan. You could scratch it if you do. And that's it. So we're going to pop this in the oven. 350 degrees. It's going to take about 40 to 45 minutes to bake. Do you see the little feet here? When it comes out, we're gonna invert it. That's what you have to do for an angel food cake so that it keeps its height. So make sure that when you position your racks in your oven, you're accounting for this height that you're going to need. And just to make it extra easy, I am going to set this on a sheet pan to bake. Remember, that middle part is removable. So if you grab it from the edges, it could start to lift up. So if you don't want to use the sheet pan, just make sure you pick it up from the top. Otherwise, set it on one of these. It'll make it even easier. The cake just came out of the oven. You want to test it and make sure that when you use a toothpick or a cake tester that it comes out clean to know that it's done. So now we're just going to take it and invert it onto the stackable cooling rack. And see those little feet are holding it up there? That means the cake is going to continue to cool while dropping down to keep the air. So this step is super important. Don't skip it. Let it cool completely while turned upside down. While the cake's baking, I'm gonna prepare the lemon curd. So take your lemons and you're gonna go ahead and zest them using the adjustable zester. You just want to get the colored part, not the white pith. So once you hit that white part, just go ahead and rotate. You're gonna zest 2 full lemons, and then you're gonna juice 5 of them. Here's how we juice the lemons. After you've taken the zest off, you're just gonna turn it onto the reamer of our juicer. And you'll see it holds back your seeds here and here. For the lemon curd, I've got all of my egg yolks in the deluxe cooking blender. To this, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a cup of sugar. This is our stainless steel scoop. And then we'll get all of that lemon juice and the zest. Your deluxe cooking blender has a sauce feature over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn it on till sauce lights up. Press start, and it will do all of the cooking and the stirring. And at the end, we'll add some butter. The blender now says add, so it's time to put the butter in. So I've got a whole stick of unsalted butter. We're gonna add it to the curd. And then press the center button here. It's just going to mix it up until everything is melted, and then it's done. Let's take a look at this curd. So when you add the butter, you just pulse it. You just want that butter to melt. And this is just gorgeous. Nice and smooth. We're gonna let this refrigerate until it's nice and cool to serve with the lemon, or I'm calling it a lemon angel food cake. That's what it's gonna taste like. A sauce over the angel food cake, but other things you can do with lemon curd, it's delicious on top of pancakes, waffles. We love it with homemade yogurt, and it's just great with a spoon. I hope you'll enjoy trying the lemon curd. Here's how you make strawberry whipped cream with our new whipped cream maker. You're going to first leave the bottom part in here. And I am adding 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream and 1/4 of a cup of strawberry jam. Just scrape it in there. You're gonna pump it about 30 times. Now in the top lid here, I'll show you, there's a little, it's like a plug. Do you see that right here? So when you are pumping, you wanna make sure that it's plugged, and then we'll remove the plug when we're ready to pipe. Okay, so let's do about 30 pumps. Might be a little bit more. You'll know when it starts to get firm. All right, I feel like it's starting to thicken up. Okay, you're gonna leave this pulled up when you unscrew it, and just check to see if it's as thick as you want it to be. Okay. It's still pretty thin. We're gonna go just a little bit further. Oh, can't waste that. That is delicious. Okay, so now what you wanna do is you're going to take your top off. It comes with this little silicone cap. And so we're going to just press this into the silicone cap so it attaches. Put it in here, tip it as you're bringing it through so that it pushes the air in the right way. And now we want to unscrew this side to attach the piping tool here. Now this is still a lot thinner than it would be if it was just whipping cream because of the jam, but it's gonna be really delicious. So when you're ready to pipe, remove the plug, and I'll just do it on the edge of the plate so you can get the idea. Bring your tip close and then apply just even pressure here. And then you can give it a little swirl, just like that. Isn't that cute? Our cake is fully cooled. Let's go ahead and take it out together. So use the little tool that comes with it. It's not metal, so it's not going to hurt your pan. You want to come all the way around, just loosening the cake from the sides because it will stick, which it's supposed to. That's what helps it rise and stay there. Okay, now I'm also going to loosen it along the post in the middle. All the way to the bottom. Okay, just double check one more time. There we go. And now we're gonna go ahead and put it on our serving piece. So this is the cake stand, the new wood cake stand. You can use it this way, or you can have it taken apart, or you can turn it this way for a cake stand, which is what I'm gonna do today. So we're just gonna lift this out. Look at that. And now I'm just gonna take the tool and loosen this side as well. Here we go. There's our cake. Isn't that gorgeous? So when you're ready to serve it, you're gonna take a serrated bread knife and cut this into 10 slices. So, or bigger or smaller, depending on what you want. Now, when you are cutting on your wooden cake stand, don't cut hard. You don't wanna make lines in there and scratches. This is beautiful. All right, I've got my whipped cream started. Look at this cake. It's so fluffy and wonderful. I have my lemon curd here. Just gonna give a little bit of a drizzle on the cake and let it drip off. This lemon curd is wonderfully tart. If you'd like it to be a little sweeter, you can always add a little more sugar in it. And then we'll garnish it with fresh strawberries, just to make it pretty, just on the side. And there, my friends, is how you make our new cake this season. I hope you'll give it a try.